Hey players, it's September 11th, the 10-year anniversary after the attacks on the World Trade Center. And after we face a massive earthquake and a hurricane that almost destroyed the entire East Coast, I need to know, are you the kind of person that would stay and protect others? Or do you value your life more, that you would flee to protect yourself? And we shall title this episode of The Josh Speaks, Fight or Flight. Now, 10 years ago, Americans were thrown off by the news that the World Trade Center had just been hit by a plane. What really shocked me about it was for the first time in my life, I actually felt threatened. Threatened by another country or threatened by a radical group, something I'd never experienced before in my life, and I'm pretty sure the majority of Americans had never experienced it either. When the whole thing happened, I was sitting in my 9th grade biology class when a kid walked into the room, whispered something into Mr. Franklin's ear, and his face just turned white. He stood there in front of the class, not knowing what to say, while all the kids looked at him puzzled. Until he finally spoke and said, "The World Trade Center has just been attacked." We didn't exactly know what he was talking about, so he turned on the radio and we all sat and listened as the news reported that the World Trade Center had just been hit by a plane. And for the rest of the day, kids had been going home early while I sat in class pondering, what does this all mean? And from that day forward, the laws had changed and people were more conscientious of what was going on around them. But it led me to a question that I think the majority of people don't know how to answer. Fight or flight? Do we defend or do we flee? Now, there's no shame in retreating to fight another day, but for some, they felt the need to stand up and defend what was theirs. Or even in the case of something tragic happening, are you the kind of person that would stand there and protect others, or do you feel that you value your life more to save it? An example of this is when I was working on a music video with my friend Marina. We had just finished up recording, and once we got outside of the place, we saw a car swerve off into the side and hit a store. And that car swerved because another car had been coming down the road and he just didn't stop for the stop sign. So as soon as this happened, the first thing that popped into my mind was, I need to do what I can to make sure everyone's okay. Me and some big black guy walking down the block ran over to the cars as fast as we could and told them to turn off their engines. The guy turned to me and said, you know, at any given moment, these cars could explode. But what was running through my head was not worrying about myself, but doing everything that I could to make sure everyone in the car was okay. During the 9/11 attacks, there were swarms of people rushing to the scene just to protect others. And there were swarms of people getting the fuck out of there. Because in all honesty, no one knew what to expect. When a situation like that comes at you, you just hesitate for a second. And on top of that, when I was watching the news and they were saying all these things about Hurricane Irene destroying all of Brooklyn, I did everything that I could to protect my family. We had set up an evacuation plan so that we can get everyone into the basement to see what our next steps were. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So what I'm really trying to ask here is, in what instances do you find yourself fighting to protect, and then in others on your first flight out? I'll tell you right now, if there is ever a zombie outbreak, I will be on the defense team to take them down. Like this video if you support all the police officers and firefighters that helped out during 9/11. Leave a comment letting me know, in what situations will you stand and fight, and what situations will you flee? And subscribe to the channel so I can know who the hell is watching my videos. As always guys, love and peace. 9/11 was an inside job. George Bush is part of the Illuminati. Obama is not black, he's actually white. Michael Moore needs to lose weight. Ron Paul will never be respected in the election.